Most advertisers write responsive search ad headlines once and never look at them again. That's a problem because Google has finally given us individual headline performance data, click-through rate, conversion rate, and ROAS for every single headline. The question is then, what do you do with this data? How do you actually test your headlines? How do you test responsive search ads? And how do you do it quickly so you don't spend a ton of time on it? In this video, I'm going to show you the exact system that I use to identify which headlines are winning, which are failing, and most importantly, why they're failing so you can write better iterations of your headlines and get better performance. The core of the system is a simple performance matrix with 4 quadrants. Let's start with the framework, and it makes this testing system work because I did another video where I explained how to write good headlines. So before we jump into testing responsive search ads, I just want to quickly recap the writing framework that this is built on so that you can actually write good headlines. Because most people will open Google Ads, see 15 empty headline slots, think, hey, I have to write 15 headlines. And then they'll end up writing the same thing 10 to 15 times. Big selection here. Best prices online, online best prices, shop now online, shop online. And you're not really testing anything. You're not really feeding anything to the responsive search ad algorithm. You're basically just checking all the boxes. You're not doing the right thing. You think you're getting an A, but you're not. You're just answering everything and you're not really putting the right answer into any of the answer boxes. The goal of the framework that I shared in my previous video was for you to stop writing random headlines and start testing formulas more deliberately. The framework has 14 headline formulas. Now, you don't need all 14 in every ad, but you just need the structure from it. The first 5 formulas is what we call the core 5. It's non-negotiable, and every responsive search ad should have at least one headline from each of those formulas. And most of the time, these 5 formulas are also the ones that perform the best. If you only did one thing, then writing these headlines, just taking these 5 formulas on the screen right now and using those. Your RSAs would already be much clearer and way easier to optimize. Now, if you want to take it one step further, I also have 9 advanced formulas again on the screen here that you can pull from when you need more differentiation or when you have a specific angle you want to test. You're sitting there trying to be creative. What do I write with this? Then you just pick a formula and then you have a constraint. Writing constraints are the most important thing when writing. Instead of saying I can write a book about anything, then I need to write a sci-fi book about the future where this happens. Now I have some constraints and I can work out of, and that's what these formulas do. The second thing is I want to show you how to actually access the data, because not everybody knows where to get this data. So let me just jump on the screen so I can show you how you can analyze the performance for each individual headline and learn from them. So let me just show you how to actually access the data. So we're going to campaigns, we go to assets, and in here you can click on performance, and in here you can click on headline. And then I like to just go in and say used by, because I don't want to see across my entire account or entire campaign, I don't want to go in and see which of these headlines have been used by only one, because that's not really meant for testing in my opinion. So let's say here, and let's try to just go into a single campaign so that we have something that is simpler. So let's try to take this one down to 5. Okay, so now we have headlines. And then what I want you to do is I want you to go into columns and I want you to remove everything. Click, 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 click. And then I want you to go into performance and say CTR, and then conversions, say conversion rate. Then you can do conversion rate by cost. That's basically it. You can also do clicks just to see how many clicks there is. I like to have that. And then click save, and that's it. So I have these where I sorted on clicks, and now I can easily see what's the CTR, what's the conversion rate, and then I can see, okay, based on this data on the last 30 days, let's take the last 7 here, then I can easily analyze the performance and say, this has a really low CTR. This has a really high CTR, this also, but it has a slightly low conversion rate. And all of this is what I would like to say to sit and look at, because now we can actually have the data, and now we can sit and look at how to actually interpret it, and that's the next thing. So here's my performance matrix. So the matrix has 4 different quadrants. It has low CTR, high conversion rate. High CTR, high conversion rate, has high CTR, low conversion rate, low click-through rate, low conversion rate. And it's basically simple. It's a way to just group the different headlines, because what we basically want to do, we want to end up with having high conversion rate, high conversion rate. The matrix is intended for us to know what should we do about the different headlines. But first, let's just try to take a couple examples, and I'll just show you a couple of examples of how this works in practice. So here's example 1, last 30 days, you can do 90, but whatever. Again, we have clicks here. then we have CTR 10%. So that's a high CTR. And then if we look at the conversion rate across this, then 9, 10, 9, 12. So basically all these are pretty high, but this one has a higher conversion rate than the rest. Basically, you would get a 20% conversion rate uplift if you only ran this ad. But then when we look at the CTR, we can also see 10, 9, 9, 6. So this is what we call a low CTR, high conversion rate. So something in this ad is not very attractive, but when people click on it, they end up buying. So this ad basically has two things written in it. I know you can't see it, but it has two things written in it. It is 24-hour shipping and free exchanges. Based on my experience, it's the 24-hour delivery that is key here. That's what's attracting people. The free exchanges is like, in this industry, not really important. So an iteration that I would try to do here is simply just write 24-hour delivery. Just see if just that core thing would enable us to increase the CTR and keep the conversion rate high. There's none of this that actually performs poorly because in this account, we only run 4 headlines across this campaign. And we are very promotion specific, and we've already learned what works and what doesn't work. So we haven't tested. We don't have to test a lot more. So if we go to the next one, this one has a little bit more work to do. So if we look at this, then again, CTR 8, 9, 7, 6, low CTR, 8, 7, 7, 6, low CTR. Conversion rate 3, 2, 7, 2, 7, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 2. It's very clear that we have some high and low, we have some medium in between, but here is a really good example of where I would go in and say, okay, this one would immediately, this just has to go immediately. This doesn't get any clicks, doesn't get any impressions. It's not important. It's really just lowering performance. But something in this ad is doing well, but it's not getting a lot of exposure. So something is wrong there. This ad has a high conversion rate, so again, but a low CTR. So it's something about when people click this that they just convert, but it's not really super attractive. So that's interesting to find that out. The top thing, which is really, really nice, the top headline seems to also be the one with the highest conversion rate and a high-ish CTR. So that's actually good. In this case, we just want to try to remove all the low, and iterate on them. Go on to the next one. We'll take a look at this and we can see high, low, high, low. You can see where all these things are starting to really just be very, very clear. Like this is something that people look at clicking, but they're not converting at the same level as the other two. This is what's coming into this entire framework. So let's take a look at what to actually do with the data. Because now that you know which of your headlines are failing and why, here's what you're supposed to do about it. So if you get a low CTR, high conversion rate headline, then try to find ways to increase the CTR like I showed you in the example with the 24-hour shipping. There's no need to say free exchanges. That's just somebody like me who try to fill out the entire 30 characters. And that could actually be lowering the CTR. If you have a high CTR and a low conversion rate, then you want to iterate to try to increase the conversion rate. Because the whole thing, when you have a lot of people clicking it, means you're getting people in who are not qualified. And again, maybe combined with price, maybe combined with selection, maybe combined with, is it premium, is it cheap? Try to find ways to actually get that conversion rate up, because when you have a low conversion rate, it's either because there's a mismatch between what people click and what's on the landing page, or it's because you're not filtering out the people you don't want to get clicking. If you're at free TV with every purchase and there's no free TV with every purchase, you get a high CTR with a low conversion rate. It's very, very simple. But don't forget on your high CTR and high conversion rate examples, keep them and try to make them even better. There's no need to only work on your poor performers. Try to also make high CTR conversion rate better. Of course, low conversion rate, low click-through rate, just remove them so we make space for new ones. There is one small caveat here, and that is that your account state will change what you optimize for. Because again, if you're trying to make an account more profitable, then you want to prioritize conversion rate headlines. If you're trying to scale, you want to prioritize your click-through rate headlines. All of these things changes, as you can see in the matrix here. If your state is unprofitable, anything with a low conversion rate, remove them. Then high click-through rate and low conversion rate becomes a remove action instead. However, this flips completely if you're trying to scale. Then you want to say, okay, let's try to keep our high CTR headlines, and then let's try to remove the ones that have a low CTR only. Your state of account and what you're trying to work for is what will dictate whether or not you go one way or the other. But now that we know which headlines failed and why, and how to actually test them. Before we go into all this, I just want to say all this sounded oddly complex. It's really not. So the 80-20 principle for simplifying all this is like I showed you before. Just sort headlines by clicks kill all the headlines with a low CTR, low conversion rate combo, and then test new versions. That's the minimum. Kill bad performers, write new ones. If that's all you're going to end up doing after watching this video, you're still ahead of most advertisers. If you have a large account, or if you want to do this systematically instead of just randomly replacing failures, here's the full workflow. Step 1, start with the core 5. Write one headline for each of the core 5 formula and run it for 30 days. I want you to start with the 5 because I want you to get enough data for each headline. I want you to come back in 30 days and have enough data across the 5 different formulas to actually analyze them. So now you come back after 30 days, then check which formula gets the highest CTR on conversion rate. This is step 2. Which quadrant is each headline in? What does this tell you about the formula? This is where all your assumptions will take a dive. I've seen businesses pushing Danish design be flabbergasted to see those headlines perform the worst. And that's exactly why we test. Step number 3 is you want to iterate on your winners. Once you know which of the 5 formulas that work, then test variations within that formula. So again, let's say made in Denmark works best, then taste different versions of it. Made to Danish standards, Danish design pacifiers, Denmark's #1 pacifier brand, designed in Denmark, manufactured in Denmark. Design versus manufacture. Again, there's a quality thing here. Play with ChatGPT or Gemini about finding like, why does this work? And then write variations to why it works. But if you know the promotion formula works and you had saved 20% on pacifiers, iterations can be save 20% on all pacifiers. Sale now, save 20%. Try to simplify it. It can also be exclusive sale, save 20% on pacifiers. Or winter sale, be seasonal. Combine a seasonal formula with a promotional formula. Winter sale, save at least 20%. So again, you can see here where you're not just testing random ideas, you're optimizing within a formula you know works, and that's going to take you from just doing okay to doing better and keep having a stepping stone to do better and better and better. Now, step 4 is to, of course, replace the losers. Kill the low CTR, low conversion rate headlines. Now that you have perfected within already the core 5 formulas, then try to write new headlines using different formulas. If your social proof formula have failed or you've focused on a couple other formulas, then don't just keep saying within the core 5. Try to look at the other frameworks. Maybe you want to try features instead. So especially if you say something like Danish design worked, then maybe something like BPA-free silicone or orthodontic design, or something that's more feature focused, but that also still plays on the Danish design. This works really well. And then step 5 is repeating all this quarterly. I'm the first one to say that I think this is a process you should do every single month, but I also know from experience and savvy and the accounts that we audit and that we coach that most of you are not doing this ever. Like, ever. But at least if you're doing this quarterly, it's not a huge new burden and you will accomplish this. So you will be able to write new ads for the season, winter, spring, summer, fall. You'll have significant data to be confident in your winners. And of course, you'll still update your ads for promotions that you run anyway when they change every 2 weeks, every month and a half. So it's not really a big deal only doing this quarterly. Just focus on getting into the process. To wrap all this up, you have a complete testing loop now. You start with the core 5 headlines. Don't overdo it. Core 5. Analyze which formulas win. Double down on winners with variations. Replace losers with different formulas. And repeat this quarterly. The key insight here is you're not testing random headlines anymore. I can't stress this enough. It's actually hurting your performance more than it helps when you just add 15 very similar random headlines in there. The algorithm doesn't know what to do. This works. If you at least do this quarterly, you'll write better ads than 90% of advertisers out there who never test them at all. Just start today. Pick one campaign, write 5 core headlines, and come back in 30 days and analyze with the matrix and move on to the next one. So I'll see you in the next video, and I promise if you do this, if you get started with this, I have a framework where you can actually get to structuring your campaign and writing the headlines with AI, so you don't have to do all this manually, but you have to get the process started manually. Then I can show you the AI way.
If you're into practical PPC insights that you can actually help you, then subscribe. I share tips, breakdowns, and call out what's working and what's not. No fluff, just the stuff that you can use every single week.